The melodious voices of our children. They are the future, and we as adults should take full responsibility for their upbringing. Hello everyone, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Welcome to Jamaica Magazine. It's the beginning of Child Month, so in addition to our daily newscast, children in high school will share what they know about careers as they consider their future and motivation for students sitting external exams. But first, an important reminder.
If you're gonna take it to the limit, don't fake it, just make it the best and life can be.
Are you 35, live in Jamaica, made a worthwhile contribution to the development of your community or parish? You're eligible for the Governor General's Achievement Award. There is also an award for persons 18 to 24 years with high levels of academic achievement. And if you're 24 to 35 years, you could qualify for the Governor General's Award of Excellence.
It's not based on your personal success. It's based on your outreach, doing something to help other people.
For full details of the criteria, application form and supporting documents, visit kingshouse.gov.jm or call 927-6424. Drop off documents at King's House, Hope Road, Kingston 6, or give them to the Justice of the Peace or Custos in your parish. Application deadline May 30, 2014. The Governor General's Achievement Awards Program, recognizing excellence since 1991.
Nobody can tell you what tomorrow brings.
Good day, I'm Samantha Allen, and this is your GIS News for Friday, May 2. We begin with more good news for Jamaica, which has received another vote of confidence from the international community, this time from the World Bank, which has approved a country partnership strategy for the country. The strategy will facilitate growth and further disbursements from the World Bank. Finance Minister Dr. Peter Phillips says the bank's support will be for three key areas: modernizing the public sector, creating an environment to facilitate private sector growth, and the building of social and climate resilience. For the modernization of the public sector, a new debt law will be implemented, the public pension system will be reformed, and customs administration will be improved. Dr. Phillips also gave details of how the government would create an environment to enable private sector growth.
Activities in this aspect of our cooperation will include the fostering of investments in high potential sectors such as logistics and agriculture, helping to improve the business climate by reducing the time needed for an entrepreneur to register a new business, obtain construction permits, and pay taxes.
Under the third support area from the World Bank, social protection programs will be strengthened and the comprehensive framework for disaster and climate change risk management will be finalized. Meanwhile, government has laid out its plans to deal with arrears in the public sector following the announcement that it had set aside $1.5 billion to pay creditors. Finance Minister Dr. Peter Phillips said one of the measures included a cap on 90-day arrears as of March 2013.
We are making also direct payments through the Central Treasury Management System to suppliers of goods and services, thereby reducing the risk of the diversion of resources from ministries, departments, and agencies.
All statutory deductions from ministries, departments, and agencies, as well as educational institutions and health authorities, will be withheld and transferred directly to Tax Administration Jamaica. In addition, the National Health Fund, the NHF, will take over all public sector pharmacies by the end of 2015.
The value of the assets in the pharmacies at the point of takeover will be used to set off existing arrears for drugs and medical supplies to the NHF.
The budget for drugs and medical supplies will be increased in line with inflation. For this financial year, the budget for drugs and medical supplies was increased by 9% from $3.7 billion to $4.1 billion. Health Minister Dr. Fenton Ferguson has lauded the University of the West Indies for its newly launched anti-cancer screening laboratory at Mona. It's the first dedicated anti-cancer laboratory in the region. At the launch event on Tuesday, Dr. Ferguson said it was a great moment for the UWI, Jamaica, and the Caribbean.
The launch of the anti-cancer screening research laboratory is a step in the right direction. The strengthening of the laboratory services will be an important part of our activities that will focus on improving the early detection and treatment of cancer.
The lab and research facility will also help Jamaica to capitalize on the wealth of natural resources available locally as work continues to identify treatment options and a cure for the condition. Minister Ferguson underscored the need for more investment in research and for it to be done with the necessary intellectual property control and patents of critical outcomes. Jamaica recently joined the rest of the region in launching 2014 as the International Year of Small Island Developing States, SIDS. Speaking at the launch ceremony recently, Foreign Affairs Minister A.J. Nicholson said 2014 would be a pivotal year for all SIDS.
The opportunity must be used judiciously to address the full range of sustainable development challenges facing our countries and to bring about lasting and transformative solutions to support national and regional development efforts.
The International Year of Small Island Developing States celebrates the contributions made by these countries to the world while working with them to find solutions to their challenges. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Samantha Allen. Thanks for watching.
Parents, make sure the children get immunized. Hear this. Immunization, it is a must. This is not a joke thing, this you can trust. It is required by law for entry to nursery, to daycare and to schools. Listen up, it is necessary to prevent diseases such as the measles, the poliomyelitis, the lockjaw and the whooping cough. Immunize your kids, keep them healthy, keep them strong. Prevent deadly diseases such as mumps, rubella and diphtheria. Immunize your child today. Immunization, a key to good health.
A message from the Ministry of Health and PAHO.
I can never get tired of hearing that popular song performed there by students from Rollington Town Primary. No doubt the lyrics have inspired children to strive for excellence. Take this next group of students, for example. They're working hard at school and at the same time actively considering careers they can pursue later in life.
We're all aware that choosing a career is a big decision. A career is an occupation chosen by a person to use his or her talent, provide some goods or services, earn money and contribute to society. But there's a path you have to follow if you're serious about it. You have to know yourself, research options, set goals and make a realistic plan to achieve your goals. Now today on School Zone, we'll be hearing about the career decisions of students at Kingston High while giving them expert responses to their burning questions.
Students, now that you understand what it means to have a career and understand the term itself, now I would like you to tell us, what is it that each of you would like to do when you leave school? In other words, what is your career path? Brianna.
In the future, I would love to become a chemist or a cardiologist.
God's willing, I'd like to be a pharmacist.
I would like to become a nurse.
Well, for me, I would like to study theology.
And you, Shauna K?
I'm not sure.
Okay, Shauna K, don't look so sad. One of the things that we're going to do today is a career test, which is going to help you to know and to identify your personality traits and to see which career will be suitable for your traits. All right? So we're going to solve that problem today.
Hi, Shauna K. I was told that you're having problems with choosing your career.
Yes, miss.
All right, well, I'll be administering a psychometric assessment to you, and it will help you to choose your career or to know the career that is best suited for you. Based on your psychometric assessment,
yes,
we have realized that you are actually a social person because the profile is that they love to teach or help persons, loves to talk and works well in groups. For their characteristics now, they are very friendly, helpful, cooperative, kind, patient, and responsible. Yes. And some possible careers as it relates to social persons are counselors, housekeepers, teachers, ministers, cosmetologists, firefighters, police officers, doctors, and so on. So these are just some possible careers that you can look into to see what it is that you really like. Okay, Shauna K, I hope I was of assistance to you, and all the best in choosing your career, and I hope that this career path that you have chosen will actually benefit you. All right?
I would like to pursue a tertiary education, but I'm having difficulties financially in going to a school. What can I do to attain a tertiary education? How will my dream come true?
Now, we have scholarships. And this is one of the reasons we encourage you to work so hard. Because when you do very, very well, when you participate in activities in school, your extracurricular activities or your clubs and societies, these things are looked upon, and it puts you in very good standing to gain a scholarship.
Persons can also borrow money from the Students' Loan Bureau or other financial institutions, get a part-time job, or family members can pool together to offset the cost of college or university.
I am presently doing the sciences, and all the career tests I've taken shows that I'm suitable for the science field. But I rather business. What do I do?
Shauna, you really don't have a problem? Because there are many scientists who are business persons. Because what you have to do, once you have achieved that career goal and you are there, now you are in the sciences and you're working in the sciences, you can operate a business that deals with scientific stuff, that probably sells scientific equipment, so many different things. My pastor is a scientist, but he's also a pastor. You know, there are different things. So it's not something that you need to worry about, but just understand that you can still be in science and incorporate that, being a business person. Remember last class we talked about becoming an entrepreneur? That's what we are talking about, okay? Dwayne.
I'm currently doing the sciences also like Shauna K. But I really love theology, really love to study theology. I'm confused knowing that I'm already doing the science subjects. What can I do?
The fact that you're doing the science and you really like theology will not stop you. Earlier on I spoke about my pastor who is a pastor but is also a scientist. So there are times when we can merge our career. We can bring them together and still be able to perform and to do the things that we want to do. So I would say continue on your path with your science and think about your theology, go for it, and you might be able to blend them, merge them, and still live a fulfilled life where you are satisfied with your career choice. So how do you feel now?
I feel enthusiastic.
I feel great.
I feel happy. I can't wait to eat there.
Wow.
Excited.
Good.
Overwhelming.
Wow. All right, and we are going to move right along, work hard, and go for what we desire to have.
Me a 15, me nah run down no baby daddy, me a stay in a school, be merry, get my education, so young girls, if you no mess up, get up, brush off, and remember, nourish.
Hey you! Yes, you with the TV remote. I know we all like to have fun. That's very cool, but we also have to make time for our books. We have to read to learn about different persons, places, or things. And we have to do our schoolwork. That way we will grow big and bright to get good jobs and earn lots of money. I am Zoe Thompson, and I love to spend time with my books. What about you? Join me now.
national hero Norman Washington Manley, Jamaica's first female Olympic gold medalist Dion Hemmings, 100 meters Olympic gold medal winner Shelly Ann Fraser-Pryce. All these outstanding country folk have something in common. They are all three high achievers in athletics, and more than that, all bright sparks, blazing a trail of managing sports and books, setting an example for future sports stars, showing that acing bookwork while being involved in competitive sport is more than possible. Sport is a big deal in Jamaica, and why not? Ours is a legacy of world-class champions like Usain Bolt, Courtney Walsh, and Mike McCallum. But we want more for our pioneering and future sports stars than just fame and trophies. Excellence in all arenas is the end game. That's why two of the island's top universities offer sporting programs at the degree level, and why there's a push to ensure sporting stars excel in schoolwork. As a minister with responsibility for sports puts it, a sportsman or sportswoman is even more undefeatable if they are academically inclined.
Academics is not just about a career choice. It's a learning experience, and it's a lifetime learning experience.
It's not an easy road. How many see the glamour and the glitter, so them think I better rose. Me say, who feels it knows.
Doing well at sports while being a bookworm is not an easy feat. Two of today's stars tell us how they do it.
Well, for the morning part of it, I do morning training at 5:15 in the morning, so I try and get up from 3:30 in the morning and run over some notes. Like if that's the first subject of the morning, I'll try to go over that note, and then I go to training 5:15. And then after training, I go to school.
Well, get up 5:15, get ready for school, leave by 6 o'clock, get to school, do some studying at school or finish up some homework, go to a day of school, training, go home, study, go to bed 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the night.
The balance comes with hard work and planning. For these sports enthusiasts who are also academic achievers, while their companions sleep, they're toiling upward throughout the night. The St. Jago High School Reggae Girl sat her 10 external exams in between overseas trips representing Jamaica in international matches. The future physical therapist is labeled as a disciplined student who trains very hard. After producing a commendable performance while playing on the national team, Georgia returned to school, training for the high school girls' football competition even as she prepared to sit her CAPE exams.
There are a number of colleges and universities, both locally and internationally, that is interested in her overall because of her academics and her performance.
If you're a winner, everybody let me hear you say, yeah, yeah.
And it seems balancing sports and books reaps similar accolades. The Bridgeport High cross-country runner is a role model at the school. The principal knows his name, and nothing less than greatness is expected of him. Expectations he's willing to fulfill as he's hoping to continue the juggling act for years to come. Javert wants not one, but two careers, to be a physical education teacher and a sports journalist.
He's presently in sixth form and he's doing his CAPE, and hopefully he can do his SAT soon, and then we try to look at scholarship from there for him.
And so, like their forerunners, these two represent the future of sports stars who are academic and athletic high achievers.
If school fails, you have football. If football fails, because it's not a sure thing, you have school behind it.
Living in a country like Jamaica where everyone wants to be the next Usain Bolt, I know for sure that all of us are not going to make it like Usain Bolt, so we have to have something to fall back on. If you do even make it like Usain Bolt, you never know when you're going to succumb to injury and cannot run again. So you have to have something else on the side.
There are also some more immediate consequences for ignoring the books. At the 2013 Intersecondary School Sports Association Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Championships, top runners were disqualified from the highly acclaimed competition for below standard academic records.
It also assists in how it is that we present ourselves on the world stage, that we're not only running well, but we're presenting well, and showing that we have the finish, that we are catering to the whole human being, not just the sporting aspect of the individual.
Teachers, parents, and sports coaches are all united to ensure the balance is met.
I commend those students who have found that balance, and oftentimes it's I believe, teachers who show an interest, parents who are involved in their children's lives, who understand, okay, so you would have spent 3 hours training. I'm asking you to give me 1 hour in the books. 3 hours in the books, 1 hour on the field. But just to create a balance.
Born in Jamaica, shout it out loud, and anywhere I go, I am the star of any show. I'm bold and clever, and I'm back. Question, when it's gonna be my time to shine, I gotta get what's mine. When it's gonna be a little shine for me. Lyrics and flow, I circle the city, because my full of versatility.
So versatile are the nation's youth that they are able to balance the stresses of everyday life with academics, some even becoming trailblazers in the annual Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate CSEC exams. Some students have already sat exams this year, while others have a few days to get into the action. We hope you will draw inspiration from these outstanding young people.
Hi, my name is Marissa Weber. I'm 17 years old. I really like reading, like any books. I like listening to music. I got 10 ones in the recent CSEC examinations.
Those subjects include mathematics, English language, English literature, chemistry, physics, biology, geography, Spanish, history, and technical drawing.
I kind of used that study timetable in a way to make sure that I studied like one subject, at least one subject every day, and just use up all the time that I had. Like if you're on the way to school and you know the school ride to school going to take like half an hour because there's traffic, you know you put a book in the car, you have a book in the car to study some bio or some geo on the way to school. The easiest one I think maybe would have been physics or one of the English language or English literature papers. I liked the physics paper, I enjoyed doing it. The hardest exam, I guess, would have been either chemistry or geo. I think chemistry was kind of hard because I didn't get the question that I wanted, the question that I liked for section C, I didn't see it there, but I could still do the question that came. They shouldn't wait on the last minute for the SBAs to pile up, because then it's just a whole lot of pressure just weighing down on you. So if you can, you should space them out a little more so that you have time to breathe and do the SBA properly so that you can get the best grade you can. Manage your time and to use up the time that you have, because it's really not a lot of time when you think about it to study for so many subjects. So you should be organized and use up all the time that you have so that you can do well. I'm going to go to sixth form at St. Andrew High, and then I want to go to a college or university to study to be an environmental engineer.
Hi, I'm Akim Fraser, 17 years old and a student of Jamaica College. Well, I was actually at home in bed. Everyone was talking about it, so I just took the laptop, went online and checked.
How did you react?
Well, I was pretty happy with the results. A bit disappointed seeing that I had friends that got 8, 9 ones, etc. But I knew the challenge that I would have balancing the subjects, and I was really aiming for 5 or 6, and I wasn't that far off, so I was pretty okay with it.
And he should be. Akim got 4 1s and 5 2s at the CSEC level. The fifth former also sat a CAPE subject.
Well, at Jamaica College, we have an accelerated program, so I had done math and English CSEC subjects in 4th form, and I got grade 1s in those. So the challenge for this year was to expose us to the CAPE subject, so we got communication studies to do in 5th form. Yes, I was successful. I obtained grade 2 in the subject. Well, first I would like to thank God, because without Him none of it would have been possible. I'd like to thank my teachers, my parents for motivating me. The preparation was really hectic. I had training in between. Well, I was training for cricket. I played both for the Kingston Cricket Club and I also represent Jamaica at the under 17 level. By far, I would have to say the accounts exam was the hardest, mainly because I don't think I got all my practice in. So in the exam, it was a bit of a challenge. And I would have to say the easiest exam would have to be literature, because it's one of my favorite subjects. I like reading, so I enjoy that one. Well, for September, it's 6th form at JC, #1 school in the country, of course. And then after that, I would go do another year in upper 6, and then it would be university, UA or UTech. Well, my advice would be to make the sacrifices to achieve your goals. It's really worth it. You might think it's hard at the time, but trust me, it will be worth it coming out. It's not the end of the road. The subjects can be retaken, and it's not the end of life. There are other endeavors that you have to go through, so there's no real big reason to be disappointed now.
Congratulations to Marissa, Akim, and all the other students who were successful in CSEC. Join us next week right here on Jamaica Magazine as we feature 2 other stars in the zone.
That song, originally performed by the Heptones, concludes this Friday's edition of Jamaica Magazine. Yeah, that's right, time does fly when you're having fun. But you may stay in touch with us 24/7. Please visit our website, jis.gov.jm, or follow us on Twitter at JIS News. You may also share your thoughts via email, jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm. I'm Adrian Atkinson, and this has been Jamaica Magazine. Another program comes your way tomorrow. Until then, do take care, and thank you for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.